the southern point of South America. There's a name for it. Does anybody remember the name? Like Luigi or something, the town. And they sailed from there across the wildest waters on Earth that, I don't remember how many miles, but it's hundreds of miles, across to the continent of Antarctica, which we've just found out is part of the New Zealandia is a new continent we've just discovered, along with a new planet we're discovering out there. So anyway, this thing, this cruise ship, which leaves Christmas week, goes to the Antarctic. I'll be aboard. Several other people who are entertainers will be aboard. And it's kind of expensive, but a week, 10 days really, in the Antarctic. And all of us looking and discussing and seeing it. So it's like the spirit of adventure. And I'm fascinated by the Antarctic. So over the years, I've kind of thought about it and came across Shackleton's, name sound familiar? A book, Shackleton, does anybody remember his first name? Bobby, Dick Shackleton, who remembers? But Sir Shackleton sailed a boat in the 1800s to Antarctica. Now the Antarctic still is, but more so then, was like going into space. Nobody knew. Nobody knew anything. Nobody knew that the ice froze over. And so it happened. He sails his boat, the ship, into the Antarctic. The ice that's melting, freezing and unfreezing, freezes around his boat, starts to crack his ship, doggone it, and they jump off, they get their lifeboats, and they pull their lifeboats across the freezing ocean ice to where it's open sea, get in their lifeboats, and they're on the Antarctic. And this part of the Southern Pacific is the wildest, and they row. And they have in the back, it may have been Shackleton, or it may have been a navigator, they have a guy with the thing that looks at the sun. Problem is, there's no sun. It's all foggy and misty and windy and waiting, and it's filled with such jeopardy. They're in an open boat, and they're rowing in the middle of the Antarctic Ocean, and he lets part of his crew off an island and continues on, finds another island that he was looking for. In any case, he gets all his men back. Over a period of about 2 years, nobody died. And it was like a huge adventure. So this ship, this cruise is going to take place on the Christmas week, and I'll be part of it. So keep abreast of it for those of you who might want one of the great holidays and great adventures. It's part of this adventure that I keep in the back of my mind, like it's an adventure. And actually, if you pay attention, everything's an adventure. Just getting here. So that's one of the adventures I'm doing. Another adventure that I'm on is, it's like everything's breaking out this year. Masters of the Universe. It's just been, yesterday or the day before, just been released. I did some publicity on Monday, I guess, for it, and getting great reviews, and people are going to see it. So, Masters of the Universe. And then there's an album called Call Me Bill, which has been out there quite a while, but a new album I just finished making, a children's album, entitled Where Will the Animals Sleep, which is part of the major song on that album, which says, if we destroy everything, where would the animals sleep? Sounds like a great song. And then some time ago, I performed at the Kennedy Center with songs that Robert Sherwood and I and Daniel Miller wrote, and gave a concert at Kennedy Center, recorded it as a concert, so it's going to be released as a documentary, and then the music, the London Symphony Orchestra, which is a prestigious label, picked up the music, so it's about in the spring to be released as live at Kennedy Center, and some wonderful songs that we wrote. The major song of that album, of that period, is So Fragile, So Blue, which is a song about what I felt like when I came off of the spaceship, the Blue Origin, that I took up there and took down to talk about spirit of adventure, and what I felt. And we've got it to a 70-piece orchestra. So LSO will be releasing, I'm not quite sure what we're calling it, something like Live at Kennedy. So that's coming out. Then, on top of all that, there's a movie, and this is, I need your help in taking suggestions. So, I've made a movie, a documentary about me, okay? So somebody came to me, Legion M is the name of the company. And so the Legion M company is a year ago came to me. So we'd like to do a biographical film on you. So I've been turning that down, like, I don't need a biography. So, but these guys, this was the uniqueness and the adventure they're on. They uniquely have the premise, their company is, we're always assailed by, give me money and I'll do X and Y. This company said, put money into our company. This will be funded by people who give as little as, $100 or more or less. And you own the company. So this movie, which is entitled Call Me Bill, is funded by you guys. Anybody here? One of the, there's some hands. Yeah, they're the producers. We don't get paid until you get your money back. I haven't been paid yet. My adventure. No, so the movie's going to be released momentarily. There's more. Ask me a question. Where are you? No, not you. We gotta get it on. Where's the line? Okay, you guys. Nice. Get right into the mic so we can understand the question.
Well, I want to thank you for being here, Mr. Shatner.
No. Thank you for being here. Really, I'm part of the community. I own some land nearby, so this is like this great town. Great people come and go. It's just, it's a great.
Yeah, I know. It's like
weather. Oh my God.
It's cool, but it's so far away from the thing.
Thank you for being
like,
here.
why can't I just put it in the middle?
Shows that you've been in, and my name is Paul. I'm a retired firefighter paramedic.
Oh, that's great, Paul.
Ask your question, Paul. Come on, hurry up. Let's go.
August of '84.
Get to your question.
What was that about 911?
I was in an episode of Rescue 911.
Were you really?
'84, yes.
Was I in it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Did we meet?
Not really.
That's why I remember you very well. Oh, yeah, it's you. I didn't meet you. That's great.
My question is, how much fun did you have making a show with Terry Bradshaw and Foreman and Henry Winkler?
Yeah. What was it called? Better Late Than Never.
Better Late Than Never.
I tell you, let's see if I can think of an example. Have you ever had an itch, like a really, your skin like dry and itching, and it's both pleasure and pain? You go, oh God, yeah. Have you ever had that? That's what that show is like. So the guys were fantastic. What a pleasure to have met one of the great quarterbacks, Terry Bradshaw and George Foreman. I got in the ring with George Foreman. George Foreman told me when I was a kid, certainly by the age of 16, I used to fight. Just for the pleasure of fighting. And I wanted to kill him. I was a killer. And then when I turned pro and he won the Golden Globe, I won the Golden Globe and he won the Golden Glove. I don't know which I'd rather have. So he said, when I was a killer, I was street. And I want to hurt people. And then I won the Golden Gloves and I drilled him. And then I turned pro and I drilled him. And I got to about the age of whatever it was, 25, 28. And he won the World Championship, Heavyweight Championship. And I drilled him. And I got scared of him. I scared myself, so I quit. And I just stopped. I stopped fighting. And I had my 12 kids, all of which are named George. You know that? George and 12 kids. Yes, Dad. Take the garbage up. My name is Kenny. You know. So then he retired. I think he discovered religion alone. Then he retired. And he was out for about 10 years. And then he decided to come back in. I said, well, why? He said, because my kids would sit around the table and go, they were hungry. Needed to make some money to feed his 12 kids. George, are you hungry? And the chorus was, yes, we're starving, Daddy. So he went back in. Now that he had found religion, he wasn't the killer. So he won the world championship, the heavyweight boxing thing again, and he was a different man. And the man I met was a preacher. He has his own church, I believe, somewhere in Texas. Great, beautiful man. So we're in Thailand, I think it was. And so one of the producers says, all right, today, let's Shatner get in the ring with George Foreman. Oh, okay. I mean, so, I used to box. My shoulder too sore now. I'm punching him, bang, 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 and he's looking at me with his hands up, and I'm punching him a little harder. Now, bang it, a little harder. And I look into his eyes. And you know the special effects of the eyes changing, like they go from and I saw this former killer come out in his eyes as he swung at me and hit me and knocked me out or something. I felt I pretended to fall to the floor. Because I didn't want him to hit me again. I mentioned George Foreman. But I suppose one of the great moments of that show was Terry Bradshaw, who a four-time winner of the Super Bowl, and he had like 4 rings. And he's a jock, and he's funny, and he's great, and of course, when he was younger, a great athlete. So now he's not as great an athlete as he once was. But this show, Better Late Than Never, was Henry Winkler, George Foreman, Terry Bradshaw, myself. God, I haven't been able to remember those names until right now. You don't understand. That was a feat of memory for me. So we get to Sweden, to what's the capital of Sweden? Stockholm. We get to Stockholm. And now the way they worked the show was the producers say, "All right, here's the thing. You're on stage in front of a lot of people. Okay, that's it. And now we're on stage with a lot of people. Got to ad-lib, and we make it up as we go along. Totally ad-lib, just given the situation." So the producer said, all right, one of the delicacies in Sweden is not rotten fish, but
fermented.
what?
Pickle, fermented fish.
Fermented.
It's a can.
Is fermented fish. Now, ferment is like bacterial action. So cheese. Have you ever smelled really bad cheese? Go on. But have you ever tasted that cheese that smells so bad? It's a totally different experience. So here is this fermented fish in a tin can.
It opens up, I believe.
And anybody who knows about canning knows that if the tin is expanding,
Bloated.
the stuff inside is not good. You poison yourself, except because it's fermented. But the fish is already fermented. It's in the can. And they said, all right, you guys got to open the can, and somebody's got to eat the fish. So there's 4 of us, right? So the 4 of us, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's like 4 or 5 cameras all pointing at us. One of the cameras taking a close-up of me. The frame line somehow took in the camera of this camera here. So there's one camera, this camera here, and this camera here. So we struggled and opened the can, which burst open, and the most foul-smelling. I did a cop show called TJ Hooker. So I became long in the past. We applaud, what's the movie, the Masters of the Universe. You applaud. The stuff in the back, it's all gone. So we open the can bursts open, and as playing a cop, I've gotten to know really policemen, really experienced policemen. They would describe how a dead body smelled after being 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in the open. The stench is, they have to hold a handkerchief. They say you'd want to faint, it smells so bad. Couldn't have smelled any worse than this fish. Because this camera, which is catching, the frame of that camera is catching the cameraman taking this one. And that cameraman turns around and, what do you call it? Vomits, expels. Projectile vomit. So he turns, the cameraman's like, go ahead, and he smells it, he goes, projectile vomit. That's how bad it was. So now I've got a piece of the fish in my hand, and I'm looking at Terry Bradshaw. And Terry knew exactly what I wanted to do. So he got up and he started running away. And I ran after him, and he made a dart to his left, fell to the ground, I jumped on, wiped it all over his. And he said later, the worst thing that ever happened to him was Shatner running me down. It was a fun show. We travel all over the world. But talk about a spirit of adventure. Good. There are people there, right?
Yes.
I can hear you. Yes, good. Person.
Hi. This is my second time meeting you. I actually met
Right into the mic there.
I actually met you at GalaxyCon with a giant Pikachu.
Oh, right. And you do that all the time.
Yes.
My memory is so bad. I met somebody backstage 5 minutes ago. I have no idea who that was.
You're perfectly fine. So with an exclusive that you did with Variety, you had expressed that going into space had filled you with quite a bit of guilt after you had viewed, being outside.
Yes. I don't know whatever enlightenment means. Whether you see the truth of yourself or the universe, I don't know. But you can find enlightenment. You don't have to go to the Himalayas. Have it right here in Disneyland. But actually, Disney World, excuse me. I took my whole family to Disneyland this Christmas. That was enlightening. Boy, it's expensive. The show contained those elements of each of the actors going to a place that they suggested. I suggested Lithuania, and they have the story too. In any case, it was a great adventuresome show. Okay? Next question.
Hello
there. I'm deafening at the end, okay? Say it.
I was like, should I do this in my horrible impression?
Wait a minute, you're going to do an impression?
Could I
No.
do a terrible impression?
I don't know what you're doing.
Ask you a question.
Would you ask that man to leave right on out? What in heaven's name are you doing?
You're talking to my phone.
All right, you got it off. Now you feel good? Wipe your mouth off. Dribble to it right there. What do you want to ask a question?
I would love
or you
to.
want to come up on stage and take over?
They wouldn't like that.
No.
But I'd be happy
But what
to
do you care?
Right? It's a win for us all. Thank you. So, my mom told me not to make a fool of myself, and I...
Well, go back and say, Mom, I should have taken your advice.
Thank you very much.
For what?
Thank you, everyone. So,
You gotta ask a question, man, and get out of there because
you've done a lot of really amazing things, and obviously some iconic stuff. But what is it that what is it that attracts you to some of these more niche kind of things? Like, you were fantastic in like the Priceline ads, but then you're in Rescue 911. So what is it that attracts you to those things? Because we all love those things.
You just endeared yourself to me. What attracts me to do some work? Well, I think it's the adventure of it. The adventure. Like, what's the producer's name of the animated film I just did?
Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith. So I've become acquainted with Kevin Smith. I didn't know his work beforehand, but when I was told who's making the movie, it's Kevin Smith. I said, well, no, they began to tell me about Kevin Smith and the stuff he's done. So I did, what's his name? The character Jerkoff?
Keldor. Jerk off slide.
Wait a minute, no, there's another character's name though. There's two names.
Skeletor.
What's his name?
Skeletor.
Keldor.
Skeletor.
Yeah, Skeletor.
What's the other name? Keldor.
Yeah.
Did I do both? Okay, it's been a year, you know. Anyway, it's just doing an animated film, doing something in animation, and I don't know why they do this, but each actor is brought into a studio, and they're themselves. I mean, if you're in a 2 or 3 character scene, the other 2 actors are not there. The director or somebody reads the line, I love you so much. You love me, you do, I mean, it's, yes, I have such a passion for you. You have a passion for, and you're there all alone trying to make something work. So he was surprised by my playing all the characters. Apparently it's a good film. But why did I choose to do it? Because it was kind of a weird character. I did something on Batman. The Two-Faced guy. Two-Faced guy. So they screened the animation. They had already done the animation, and they were putting my voice to. There was a picture up on the screen, and so I watched. And he's supposed to turn into he turns into a bad guy. or it becomes all green or something. And so the key moment was the good guy that I was playing turns into a bad guy. And I had to do it vocally because the artist had already done it in painting. So I looked at the screen and then began, don't let me out of no, you can't go, no, I got no, you. And I'm doing two voices as the bad guy begins to assume it. Oh my God. Then I look into the room where the producers were. It was packed. It was like everybody came from all the office. Guys, you want to see the show? Shatner's going to do two voices. And it was packed, like about 50 people in a little room. Am I going? No, please, don't. Yeah, So you ask me why? That's the reason why. He didn't turn out to be such a bad guy after all.
Hi, good morning.
Where are you?
Right here.
Okay.
Hi, so I got my dad.
And these two lights are kind of blinding, so I see a dim outfit and you're like in brown, right?
Oh, it's blue and black.
See?
Hi, so I've got my dad on the line here.
Oh, really? You got your dad on the line.
Work and happy to meet you. You seem really accomplished. You devoted to hard work in music, and just wanted to ask you, aside from acting and music, which I'll follow your page and see if I can come to Daytona to come see you play.
We've already booked our show. Done and done, we're manifesting.
Okay, we're manifesting it. So which one are your favorite hobbies outside of music?
Well, now it's getting into creating a home. Because I moved to where it's a small town and I'm surrounded by mountains. So every day it's like a new project, whether it's a garden-oriented thing or I'm into getting rid of things, so recycling, being resourceful within your town. I know a lot of people there. So it's just, I guess the hobby would be like community.